students, I hope that you all are doing well. Today in our class, we are going to deal with part 4 from chapter 1, that is adolescence changes, needs, problems and management. Under this topic, we have 3 subtopics. They are adolescence changes, problems of adolescence, management of adolescence problems. Before we enter into the subtopics, let's discuss about the term adolescence. The word adolescence is derived from a Latin word which means grow to maturity. The word adolescence is derived from a Latin word which means grow to maturity. This adolescence is the growing period from childhood to maturity. Age period of adolescence is 13 to 19 years of an individual. This adolescence period is also called as teenage. In this period, there is a rapid change. Keep in mind, in this teenage period, there is a rapid change of physical, mental, emotional and social development. And this period has lack of balancing between physical and mental development. Teenage period has a lack of balancing between physical and mental development. This is a stressful period for an individual and for family members. This teenage period is a stressful period for an individual and also for the family members. Now let's enter into the subtopics. The first one is adolescence changes. This adolescent changes are 4 types. First one is physical change. There is a rapid physical changes happen in an individual. During this teenage, there is a rapid physical change. There is a remarkable difference in shape of an individual, like muscles, bone becomes hardened, boys will grow mustache, and boys and girls also will have change in their voice and on. The need of physical change in an adolescence is they need good diet, they need heavy physical workouts, creative physical activity should be given to them, suitable clothing should be provided to them, hygiene should be taught to them, healthy sports environment should be provided to them. And the adolescent people should be provided with good diets, heavy physical workout, creative physical activities, suitable clothing, hygiene, healthy sports environments and on. And the second adolescent change in an individual is psychological changes. Psychological changes are at less pace compared to physical development. In other words, in a teenage person, physical development is rapid and psychological change is slow. They don't have that much of capability to find out or differentiate good and bad because they doesn't have that much of experience. Differentiating good and bad things are low in them due to lack of experience. Intelligence in an individual increase. Keep in mind, a teenage person develops his or her intelligence, but it is lacking in practical approach. They develop the intelligence in them, but they lack to show that in practical approach. Teenagers try to hide their mistakes. These teenagers always try to hide their mistakes. They need logical explanation for each and everything. These teenagers need logical explanation for each and everything. They should be given moral values. There should be a positive behavior from family. These teenagers always keep on noticing the family members. So there should be always a positive behavior from family members. Good friends should be provided to them. Proper use of expense should be taught to them. And the next adolescence change is emotional change. Emotions are very sudden and very intense in a teenage. Emotions in a teenage are sometimes uncontrollable in them. In teenagers, emotions are uncontrollable in sometimes. Teens have an aggressive attitude. These adolescents have an aggressive attitude and rebellious behavior. Adolescents should provide moral and character development habits, means they should be taught about the moral and character development habits. Spiritual guidance should be provided to them. Proper attention should be given to them. Time should be provided to them. Understanding family needs means parents should teach the teenagers to understand the family needs. And the last and final adolescence change is social change. Teenagers enjoy the company of friends than family members. These teenagers are very loyal towards the group of their friends more than their family members. He or she wants to prove his importance in friends. They try to project that they give more importance to their friends. The need of social changes in adolescence is they should need good friends. Most important thing is parents should act as friends than parents. Parents should act as friend to these teenagers than being a strict parent. Socialization qualities and its development should be taught to them. Socialization qualities and its development should be taught to them. The second subtopic is problem of adolescence. Aggressive and violent behavior. Adolescents or teenagers, they became aggressive and violent very fast. Overconfidence and hide mistake. They often became overconfident and posed themselves as heroes. They often became overconfident and posed themselves as heroes. They hide their mistakes and try to make others fools through their intelligence. Third is friends given importance. They like the company of friends and sometimes they make bad friends with antisocial habits and try to follow them. These teenagers give importance to friends and unfortunately they may also make some bad friends with antisocial habits, which means the bad habits. And these teenagers also try to follow the same. Next is waste of time. They mostly waste time in gossiping, talking, watching TV, listening music, idle sitting, etc. Next is deflect towards drugs and smoking. Teenagers, often due to bad company of friends or due to tension, they are deflected towards health hazards like drugs and smoking. Next is lack of concentration. They have very low concentration in studies. They never worry about their results. Next is neglect family. They often neglect family and feel that they are independent to take decisions. These teenagers often neglect the family and they think that they are independent to take decisions. Next is lavish expenses. Teenagers doesn't know the value of money, so they spend the money in useless things like makeup goods, clothes, jewelry, fast food, etc. Next is beauty conscious. Teenagers, both boys and girls in this age are more conscious about body, figure, structure, shape, beauty, and sadly they waste lot of time on them. Last second is attraction towards opposite sex. They are attracted towards opposite sex and have lot of desire to get interacted with them. This is the period where parents should be very careful and they should watch their teenage child because they are attracted towards the opposite sex and they have a lot of desires and they try to find lot of ways to get interacted with the opposite sex, which means boys towards girls and girls towards boys. And this is the age where most of the teenagers spoil their future. So parents should be very careful on this. Final one is inadequate rest and sleep. Teenagers often have sleepless nights. Rest and sleep. Teenagers often have sleepless nights, rest and sleep. This may cause abnormal health problems. The third subtopic is management of adolescence problem. How to manage the adolescence problem? 1. Proper knowledge of adolescence psychology. Parents, teachers and guardians should be aware of adolescence psychology. they must understand the behavioral change and save them becoming prey to mental tension and on. Parents, teachers and guardians, they must understand the behavioral change in a teenager and save them from mental tension and on. They must have coordination with teams. Means parents, teachers or guardians should have coordination with teams. Second is providing healthy environment. The atmosphere at school, home should be cheerful, playful and healthy so that the fullest of growth and development takes them to maturity. When a teenager is provided with the atmosphere at school and home which has a cheerful and playful environment, that will take the teenager to an maturity. Second, providing healthy environment. The atmosphere at school and home should be cheerful and playful and healthy so that the fullness of growth and development takes the teenager to a maturity. By providing good healthy environment, the growth and development will take this teenager to the maturity. Third is proper sex education. Sex difference brings prominent change. Sex difference brings prominent change, so the parents and guardians should make them aware about these changes in systematic way. This is the age. Teenage is the period where the parents and guardians should make them aware about the changes in systematic way, which means in other simple words, parents and guardians should give them a proper sex education, and they also teach them how to tackle these problems. Parents should also teach them how to tackle these problems. Fourth is correction and checking of mistakes. In this stage, teenagers should give some liberty. In this age, teenagers should give some liberty to take decisions. In case the decision taken by teenager was wrong, they must be guided to take a good decision. Means teenagers should given an opportunity to take the decision independently, and if the teenager failed to take a good decision, parents or guardians must guide them. Mistakes and errors should be corrected politely and sympathetically. Keep in mind, the mistakes and errors should be corrected politely and systematically. They should not be corrected rudely. Next is proper use of time. Teenagers have a lot of energy and need good programs to channelize it in a proper way. Teenagers have a lot of energy in them, so there should be a lot of programs to channelize them, means use the energy in a proper way. Mode of education. Education should be provided to teenagers in an interesting way so that they may explore their inner capabilities. Education should be provided to a teenager in an interesting way so that they may explore their inner capabilities. sufficient opportunities should be given to them. Sufficient opportunities should be provided to them, and sufficient opportunities towards vocational education should also provided to them. They should be provided with opportunities in vocational educations also. The last second is development of moral values. Sometimes children lose their moral characters, and it depends upon the parents, teachers and guardians to develop good moral values in them. Most of the time children lose their moral characters, and that time the responsibility is to the parents, teachers and guardians to develop good moral values in them and check their immoral acts. Last is spiritual guidance. Sometimes children show less interest in spiritual ideas. There should be proper guidance about religious and secular ideas. The destructive ideas in mind can be controlled through religious thought. Keep in mind, the destructive ideas in a teenager can be controlled through religious thoughts. I hope that you all have enjoyed our physical education class. Now we have finished the chapter 1 from our physical education book. After taking notes, you can start answering the questions which was provided in behind or at the end of chapter 1 in your physical education notebook. I also encourage you to stay in your home, be safe. Save yourself and save others too. Thank you.